My name is Julian.
My name is Zee.
My name is Sean.
And today, let us start off with a little experience recall from Sean that will get us into what we are presenting today.
Okay, so when I was 13, my family and I went to Europe for a vacation. And this is how I looked when I was 13. Guess, am I the tall one or the short one? Short one? You got it. So, this is how I looked when I was 13. So, we took a train to France, Paris, and then when we stepped out of the station, we saw this. A no-ended stairs. Try to think about this. A 13 years old boy, which height around 155 cm, have to carry a 28 inches luggage bag up to the stairs. Do you think it's possible? Yes, it's possible, but it was insane. Luckily, there were two young men. They approached my family and I and asked to offer help to help us to carry the luggage bag up. We were so grateful. And people are right. French guys are nice, right? So they helped us to carry the luggage bag up to the stairs, and when we wanted to thank for their kindness, they took out a piece of paper and asked for a donation. And its claim is for charity. And this is the kind of situation that you might face when you are traveling, which leads to our topic today, tourist scam. And now I pass my time to Julian to explain more about the scams.
Hi everyone. So, in that scenario, that was pretty much something like a scam. Whether or not the charity is legitimate or not, it's another question. But it's most probably not. So, a scam is generally defined as an instance of use of dishonest methods to acquire something of value. Now, scams are an unfortunate part of life. We naturally tend to be comfortable with our surroundings, especially while we're on vacation, having a good time. However, around the world, there are many people looking for unscrupulous ways to make money out of us, often at someone else's loss, expense, and sometimes quite terrible suffering. Now, basically taking advantage of our naiveness, weak laws, and law enforcement. So, tourists are among the most vulnerable to scams because they do not have much information. They're often in need of directions when they are traveling, and they trust those who offer. Hence, a perfect recipe for scammers to get away with what they want. Now, I must admit, a lot of scammers are extremely smart. They know how to cheat money out of tourists. And in some cases, prosecution of themselves is very difficult, if not impossible. Now, most people think scams only target a certain group, such as old people or those who can't speak well in a certain region. However, anyone can be a victim of a scam. And with that being said, Zee will explain some of our content, which we will talk about today.
So we basically prepared a total of 6 different tourist scams, which we will briefly demonstrate and explain. And after that's done, we will come up with a few suggestions for you to avoid them in the future. The first scam for me today is called the Gypsy Baby Toss. Basically, here's how it goes. So, you're on a vacation and you're walking down the street one day, and all of a sudden, a woman would approach you and suddenly just throw her baby at you. And while you're catching the baby, a crook will slip in and grab your belongings. The second scam is called the jet ski scam. This typically happens in places like Thailand. So this is how it goes. You go to the beach and you want to rent a jet ski. Typically the price is about 500 baht for half an hour, but of course it could vary. So you'll take the jet ski up, spin, have a great time, and when you come back and you want to return it, the owner claims that you either damaged it or did something to cause it to not work anymore. He says you're liable for all the fixes of the jet ski, and you must pay him then and now. If not, he'll call the police on you. I'll pass my time to Julian and Sean to explain more of the tourist scams.
So, thank you very much, Zee. Now, here's a tip. If you wish to impress your date, and by all means, buy her a flower. See, women love flowers, right?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And you'll certainly put a smile on her face. Now, this one is perhaps my favorite. It's simple, elegant, and really effective. Say on a romantic vacation with your girlfriend.
What?
being the scammer, will approach the couple with some roses. Now they will take it, assuming that it's free. Uh-oh. Unfortunately, it's not. And when I keep following them, insisting, 50 euros, sir, or you're not getting away. And he doesn't want to upset his girlfriend or make a fuss in front of her. He'll eventually be forced to pay me back. So, I don't feel so bad to reject it on principle and buy her a rose from someone who's not actually using shady marketing techniques. However, it's still an extremely effective scam, which is still being done in a lot of places. Now, the next one is also rather effective for those who do not plan their routes and trips well. Now, rather than tell you all about it, I'm just going to tell you what happened to my dad. It's very popular in Thailand. This is what happened. My dad, he was from the mall, but he was in the mall, not from there. He got into a taxi because he wanted to be driven to the hotel. Well, he got to the taxi and the taxi ride took a very long time and ended up costing a hefty amount. Now, I'm not very sure about the exact figures, but that's all I know. Once he got out and he took a good look at the map in the hotel, he realized that the hotel was actually a few blocks away from the mall. Did he know beforehand? No, he didn't, because he didn't plan. He's bad with directions too. And by now the taxi driver's already gone. So now whenever my dad is overseas, he carries around a big map and his GPS. And he sits in the front seat and looks at it so he makes sure that the taxi driver knows that he knows. And now, those were the scams that I've chosen. Now I'll pass my time to Sean, who will explain about it.
Okay, do you guys remember what I had presented during my informative speech? Anyone?
Yeah,
What is it?
blackjack.
Yes, you got it, blackjack. So, that is also the gambling scam, or known as sleight of hand. There are a few gambling scams, which is the find the queen trick, and also the 3-liter box scam. Right now, I will explain the trick, find the queen in more details. Basically, there'll be a dodgy guy holding 3 cards, and one of the cards will contain queen. And the objective of this game is just find the queen. However, you'll never find the queen. Do you know why? Because the main part of this scam is just for you to pay, to play, and eventually lose your money. This is a scam has been set up for you to be never able to select the right card. You'll be fooled. And by taking this gamble, which will eventually make you lose your money if you keep trying. Just to demonstrate. This is a red joker, right? Okay, so this is a red joker. And this is a red joker as well. And the middle card is a red joker as well. Okay, let's do it again. This is a black joker. And this is a black joker as well. And the middle card is also the black joker. And you wonder, there's only 3 cards in this deck, and one of it is 1 each. But how I can possibly form 3 cards in a row? So, because this guys perform this scam over and over again, taking everyone's money. You will not win this game. As a scammer, I is very well trained. And this is the gambling scam. Oh, there's a paper on the floor. So you pick it up and you realize it is a takeaway menu. You look through it, the food looks so good. Until you place your order and you wait for it. 20 minutes has passed. 40 minutes has passed. Nothing happened. So you decide to call the room service and ask for it. But then you realize they didn't receive your order because you had placed your order to a scammer in the first place, which leads to the next scam, the fake takeaway menu. And now, the person on the other end of the phone has the card details and will be making a large withdrawal. So, this is the 6th scam that we have mentioned. Now I pass my time to Chee to explain more about how to avoid this scam.
come up with a few of suggestions to help you prevent them from happening to you in the future. The first scam we talked about was the gypsy baby toss, right? Well, one thing you can do about this is to keep your money or belongings in things like these. These are zipped up pockets or belts that could be hidden underneath your shirt, which makes it harder for scammers to lift your money or belongings. The second scam was, these are zip pockets, a graphic illustration. The second scam was the jet ski scam, right? But bear in mind that anything such as a jet ski scam could happen to any rental service as well. So what do? Before taking your jet ski out for a spin or whatever, take a picture or a few pictures of the original device. These pictures are very useful evidence against any argument that the owner may make or when you actually have to face the authorities. Another good tip is to rent from a legitimate rental site, which you can usually find out from reading user reviews. The next scam was the rose scam. Now what Julian explained involved a couple, but having something forced upon you to pay something for can happen to literally anyone. What we suggest you to do is, well, to be firm, say no, you don't want the rose. Or in our case, if your girlfriend is really upset, try sweet talking her to make her feel better. The next scam was the taxi route scam. Now Julian's dad didn't know much about his destination, which caused him to get scammed. So what we suggest you to do is, of course, do research, especially about things like the usual price ranges of the place and the general outlines and layouts of the destination. Also, if you're traveling with family and friends, make sure that everyone knows what's happening for the day. With this, chances of getting scammed can be much lower. The following scam was, as demonstrated by Sean, find the creep. For this scam, it actually shows how it preys on the gambler's fallacy, which makes you want to play again and again until you get it. So it's always better to keep in mind that astounding deals and amazing winnings, or in our case, a small price to pay to play a game, are as unlikely as they seem and combined. Be suspicious of them, because they are probably part of a bigger scam. The next scam was the fake takeaway menu. From his explanation of this scam, you should all realize now how easy it is to take advantage of someone when they're hungry and, well, when they're misled. To make sure this doesn't happen to you, it would be safer to just ignore all those shady looking takeout menus and opt out for a room service or eat out in a restaurant instead. I'll pass my time to Sean to give our conclusion.
So before we come to the end, let's have a recap. So we have talked about 6 scams, which is the gypsy baby scam, the jet ski scam, the road scam, the taxi road scam, the gambling scam, and also, of course, the fake takeaway menu. And also, we have a general tip for you guys. Just be smart. When you're facing this kind of scams, don't feel panic and just think twice when you are facing it. And if you have been through all this scam, don't feel embarrassed. Learn from your past and never been scammed again. And before I end, I hope that we have successfully informed you about the